Tonight at 6, a new phase. Troops set to tackle their next assignment in D.C. We're live with what's next for the National Guard and how folks feel about their work thus far to fight crime. And tit for tat, the president and Maryland's governor back and forth over fighting crime. The president threatening to remove money for the Key Bridge rebuild in Baltimore, and the governor mulls redrawing congressional districts. Back to school. Class starts tomorrow in the district. The stark changes students will see on their commute and how youth sports in Virginia might see a shift.
And we're waiting for a front to arrive here. It's brought some showers to parts of the area. I'll show you the latest radar and what to expect for temperatures tonight.
And we're stretching your dollar. New ways that AI works to keep cash in your wallet, plus newfound ways to tackle credit card debt.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Sunday evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. Right now, the National Guard is getting ready for a new phase of their deployment on DC city streets. Efforts to clean up areas President Trump believes are tarnishing the city's reputation. It all comes after Mr. Trump said homeless encampments turned D.C. into a, quote, wasteland for the world to see. Our Dave Laval joins us live from the World War II Memorial along the National Mall. Dave, how do people feel as the Guard is wrapping up weekend number 2 on patrol?
Well, right now we can tell you there are close to 2,300 National Guard troops patrolling streets around the district. More than 900 of them are from the D.C. unit. The rest from around or from several other states. People we spoke to told us today they're glad they're here, especially this couple that you're about to see from Southwest D.C. Members of the West Virginia National Guard stopped this afternoon to change a flat tire for them along 17th Street Southwest. Another West Virginia Guardsman treated an elderly man over the weekend who hurt himself after he fell from his bicycle near the Korean War Memorial. The National Guard troops have focused much of their attention along the National Mall, Union Station, and Metro stations. Shay Tyler, who had his tire changed, said he welcomes the troops.
People have a misconception. We should have been had this years ago. Not to, take anything away from, the mayors of the past, but I think we've gotten used to a certain level of crime, and we shouldn't be used to it. We should be doing all we can to make everything safe.
National Guard troops are also checking out sites around the district where they will conduct community restoration projects. There's no word yet when those will start. Meanwhile, Virginia is expected to see National Guard troops deployed on its streets. It's one of 19 states where the troops will be sent to assist federal immigration officers with their jobs. There's no word yet on where those troops will be assigned. We're live along the National Mall in Southwest. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Dave. Another city targeted by the president's rhetoric on crime, that's Baltimore. President Trump is going after Maryland Governor Wes Moore after the governor invited Mr. Trump to walk the streets of the charmed city. The president took to social media this morning saying that he would much prefer that he, the governor, clean up this crime disaster before I go there for a walk, saying if the governor needs help, I will send in the troops. Governor Moore responding this morning on CBS Face the Nation. Here's part of his response.
Homicide rate in Maryland is down over 20% since I have been the governor. And the last time the homicide rate was this low in Baltimore City, I was not born yet. And so the reason that I've asked the president to come and join us is because he seems to enjoy living in this blissful ignorance, these tropes and these 1980 scare tactics.
The president also questioned whether he will reconsider the federal funding to rebuild the collapsed Key Bridge, claiming that he gave Governor Moore money for this. That's not true. Last December, it was Congress and then President Biden who approved to fully cover the cost to rebuild that bridge. And coming up at 6:30, Governor Wes Moore says that he is open to redrawing Maryland's congressional districts, much like efforts in Texas and California. What that could mean for Maryland and their one Republican seat in the House of Representatives. All right, shifting over to your forecast now with meteorologist Scott Sumner. Scott, it's a little warm out there today, but I know that the cool down is creeping in for this week.
Yeah, it's just in time, due time. We're going to get that. Really, this whole week is going to be a transformation from what we have been seeing here lately over the last couple of weeks. Now, there are there's a couple of little baby showers up here in and around and south of Winchester and over towards the Front Royal area, impacted with a little bit of light rain along I-66 as well. Moving across Interstate 81, a little wider and more widespread shower scenario unfolding here in towards Madison and Orange County, our southern counties, southernmost counties here in Northern Virginia. But as we pan out wide, you can see the entire DMV. That's about it. I've just focused in on two of the only areas that are really seeing rain here in the general region. Our future rain over the next couple hours has some of that moving further to the east and possibly even extending a little further north. We'll see if that does come to fruition, but right now it is fairly quiet here in D.C. And so with that being said, you can see quite nicely here, we've got the National Cathedral in the background. We've got a temperature of 81 degrees. Again, that's going to change overnight. We'll talk temperatures for tomorrow and beyond with a full 7-day coming up.
All right, Scott, thanks. All new tonight, we have learned that a 20-year-old was killed in a car crash in Loudoun County overnight. Police say that Daniel Rivera was driving on Hidden Hills Lane and about 6 miles from Leesburg around 7:30 p.m. Authorities say his car veered off the road and hit a tree. People driving by were able to pull him out of the car before authorities got there. Rivera was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. Police say that crash is still under investigation. All right, time is 6:06. Wild new video out of Arlington after a car caught fire overnight. The fire department says it broke out around 9:45 on Shirlington Road and South Quincy Street. Fire did not spread beyond the car, and thankfully nobody was hurt. Crews say they're still trying to determine how it broke out. Meantime, a house is completely destroyed tonight after a fire erupted in a Howard County neighborhood last night. It's happened in Ellicott City on St. Charles Place around 10 p.m. That house, yeah, you could certainly tell it was fully engulfed in flames. And since the house was also in a wooded area, crews had to put out several tree and brush fires to stop it from spreading even further. The good news, nobody was inside the house at the time. In Virginia, the Trump administration is planning to pull federal funding from 6 Northern Virginia school districts. And they're going to continue to allow children to use bathrooms matching their gender identities. The U.S. Department of Education says that's a violation of Title IX, a law banning sex discrimination in schools receiving federal funding. Virginia's 2 U.S. senators, Democrats Mark Warner and Tim Kaine, saying President Trump is punishing award-winning schools and calling the funding cut an example of what they call disastrous economic policy. They say, quote, you can't have a strong economy without strong schools. And also in Virginia, the State Board of Health voted to write a new regulation banning transgender women from competing in women's sports teams. Most of the board was appointed by Governor Glenn Youngkin. The vote came after 3 college swimmers asked the board to write a new rule that would also bar trans women from any spaces that women might undress in. Queer rights advocates with Equality Virginia say that changing these regulations are a way to attack the existence of trans women. As for what happens next, the Board of Health will draft any changes. It will then go through a potentially years-long process before it can be adopted.
The core of this petition is a desire to label a specific group of Virginians as harmful based solely on their identity.
Men and women biologically are different. It's not about identity or anything else. It's about biological sex and fair competition and access to things like scholarships, things like roster spots, and just safety in our locker rooms.
In December, the NCAA president told Congress he was aware of fewer than 10 transgender college athletes. That's out of the more than 500,000 total athletes. He did not say whether the number includes transgender men. Well, students in the district are gearing up for back to school. Hey, it starts tomorrow, but this year, kids will commute through metro stops now patrolled by the National Guard and other federal agents. Our Mariel Carbone tells us how this is causing some anxiety for parents.
Yeah, the mayor says that this should be a joyful time. It's back to school, but we know not all parents and students feel that way. Some are concerned about possible altercations with federal agents, which is why some local leaders are pushing to make sure students are as prepared as possible, starting with making sure they have the proper identification. As D.C. students head back to school,
there's been a lot going on.
Parents are feeling the pressure.
There's a lot of anxiety.
LaJoy Johnson-Law is a mother and the Ward 8 rep for D.C. State Board of Education. She says parents are concerned with students navigating the metro system, often across the city to school, practice, and work, now patrolled by federal agents.
Now we are dealing with law enforcement who have now descended upon our city, who don't know our kids, who don't know our after-school programs, and many of our children, they look like grown adults. What if you're stopped by law enforcement? They're thinking you're 20 years old and you're 15. Okay, we're checking IDs, we're doing a checkpoint.
The fear, what could happen if they don't have proper ID?
Are they going to be detained? Are they going to lose their life? Are they going to be tackled to the ground?
Johnson-Law, alongside at-large board member Jacques Patterson, are calling on D.C. officials to help students 15 and older obtain real IDs.
We need to give our something to help cover them, to say that is recognized by the federal government, to say, this is who I am.
It's business as usual. We have prepared for this moment.
This week, Chancellor Dr. Louis Farabee and Mayor Muriel Bowser saying kids should have no problem getting to school safely by using their Kids Ride Free card on the Metro and by behaving lawfully.
But we want our students to know that the schoolhouse continues to be the safest place for our young people, and we'll continue to hold it high.
And I reached out to DCPS about this, still waiting to hear back. But Johnson-Law says that some students, they have barriers to getting those real IDs. Maybe they don't have the proper paperwork. So one way she's pitching to help is a possible mobile DMV clinic at the high schools where they can help them sort through and get those ID cards. Reporting in Northwest, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Not everybody has access to a car and drive. All right, Metro is making it sure that students have a smooth ride headed back to class. Officials with Metro say that all the bus routes have changed, so they recommend using their trip planner. You might have your new school commute there. Kids Ride Free cards DC for students will be distributed by schools soon. However, they say last year's cards will still work until September 30th. Metro is bringing back student lanes at 12 train stations with dedicated fare gates. Station managers will be on hand to help. Music lovers in Montgomery County, they huddled together in Tacoma Park today. Why? Celebrate Tacoma Music School's first anniversary. The school was founded last year to provide musicians of all ages with one-on-one coaching. Lessons are taught by instructors with years of experience in piano, guitar, drums, DJing, as well, singing and music production. Tacoma Music School's co-founder says their goal is to continue building community through music.
My relationships with my students, as well as a co-owner here, and being able to see everyone who walks through the door has been so important to me. I see the importance on their faces, and for me in how good that feels to be able to provide that opportunity to them.
The school has undergone many changes just in the past year. They've upgraded nearly all of their equipment and hired several new instructors. Good for them. Coming up, a lot of ground to cover. We're stretching your dollar with a new way to plan an upcoming wedding. Hint, it includes AI. 6:13, a live look as we look over Northeast DC. Scott Sumner is coming back with your forecast as that cool down creeps in.